Hey, before today's cast, I just want to thank everybody who is subscribed to me on Patreon. We recently hit a goal over there, so I'm doing a tournament, like I promised 2 years ago. It's going to be a Brood War tournament, a $200 prize pool put up by me. And if you're interested in joining, there's a link in the description. And may the best person who plays win. Enjoy Bisu versus Zero. Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a Patreon cast between Zero and Bisu here on Fighting Spirit. Top right hand corner, it is the purple Zerg player. It is Zero. And in the bottom right hand corner, we got ourselves a white Protoss player. It is Bisu under his well-known Snurf name. Snurf name, it's a Smurf name, Falcon. Only star. Okay, so those two players have played each other a lot. They know each other very, very well, so I'm expecting a very well-played game and not a ruffle stomping. Thanks again to everybody who supports me at patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month. Recently, I reached a goal over there, so I'm going to be doing a subscriber tournament. I'm going to do one for... Hold on. Is sound up? Yeah, sound is up. I can hear it. One for Brood War fans and one for StarCraft 2 fans. So if you're interested, should I make you join the Discord? I don't know how I'm going to do this. Maybe I'll put a link to the challenge bracket where we're going to keep track of who's winning and stuff. But we're going to do it. We're going to do a StarCraft 2 one and a Brood War one. So mark that on your calendars if you're interested in competing against other Falcon Paladin people. As we do have an overpool here. Overpool here out of Zero, which the probe scouts, and this is important stuff. You know it, I know it. You have to go for the scouting. If you're going to beat a Zerg player, you have to know what they're doing. Protoss can be... I don't know. Protoss just needs to scout, right? It can be aggressive, but it's better to scout and just be better safe than sorry, as Bisu shows here. And he scouted the right direction, so I think Zero's in a little bit of trouble here. Most of the macro PvZs that I've cast featuring Bisu, especially on this map, have Bisu scouting the wrong direction, arriving too late to do anything other than just be defensive, right? Probe here, blocking the natural expansion. Another drone coming out. Oh, you blocked it. You blocked it with a pylon. Frustrating stuff, but 2 sets of lings are on the way. We'll be able to shut that down. It's just kind of a slowdown scenario here. I don't think it's a lot of lings. That's what the probe is here for, though, right? The probe is here to be like, hey, how many lings are coming out? Well, it's going to be 6. Which means you're going to want a cannon and probably a gateway here before you start to throw down your Nexus. It's a little bit dangerous, especially because the Overlord has scouted the right direction and knows what's going on. So, yep, 2 cannons coming up. Ringo Bingo canceled the pylon because, well, that wasn't going to stop the Zerg player anyway, and the third base is just coming up for Zero on the other side of the map regardless. So, yeah, if this was like one pair of Zerglings or this was the hatch first play, you'd probably get the Nexus up before any cannons at all. But as it stands, nope, 2 cannons are required. The lings, I don't think they're even... Oh my gosh, we're back blocking. This is the most annoying probe of all time. And finally, Zero gets his natural down, which we will call his natural because it's in the natural location, even though it's the third hatch that he's got. Overlord still scouting about. Really nothing to see here other than a pylon's going to come up and then probably a Stargate. Again, nothing too insane from either of these players right now. Like, we're not seeing a giant ling flood. Zero is droning up. His third base getting up a little bit earlier. No, it doesn't hurt anything. Kind of maybe lets him get up some defenses there a little bit earlier than he would be able to. So here's this important stuff. As the probe scouting the Zerg early was important, this is also important. What is this going to be? And Bisu, without any shame whatsoever, throws down a cybernetic score. I forgot about the cyber core for a second because it's late, but cyber core, and then we get the tech that we always want. Gonna be a Stargate. Yes, yes. I can't imagine it's anything else. Hydralisk Den coming in from Zero. A little bit interesting. Do like that. Could be a big Hydra push style play, which has always been fantastically effective. Well, not always fantastically effective, but really effective against Protoss who don't have any kind of splash damage like Storm when they show up. So Zerglings just really, they don't have speed. Are they getting speed? Dude, speed's not on the way. You saved that gas for other stuff, which is going to be Hydralisk speed. All right, man. I can buy it. I can buy what you're tossing down here. It is a Stargate, which the Overlord sees, and then starts the long journey out of the Protoss home world because, well, something's going to come out of that Stargate that can kill him. No questions. It's probably not going to be a scout, but it could be. It could be a scout, but it's probably a Corsair, again, because Bisu is the one who piloted and came up with the whole concept of just making Corsairs to keep the Zerg player from overwhelming you with macro. Right. We've talked about this before. Day9 made a big video about it on his channel and then commentated some StarCraft 2 and then went back to ignoring StarCraft. So it's cool, Day9. We love ya. You're a good dude. Zealot wanders all the way over to the third. Remember when I was like having defenses up here would not be a bad idea? Well, maybe it won't be a bad idea. This isn't just the Bisu kills everybody with Zealots play, is it? I'm getting +1 attack. He only has the one gateway, though. If he's going to go for the overwhelming style, then it's going to be more than one gate. So, no, just going +1 air weapons. 4 Hydras in production here. It is 21 drones, man. 21 drones indicates to me this is going to be a big Hydra-style push. Let's see how much damage he can get done here. That Zealot has 3 kills. And does go down. Doing a lot of damage over here at the third base, though. Really causing some problems. Yeah, nothing but Hydras in production right now. We do have a range coming in. Can the Hydras... Yes, Hydras do have a location where they can attack that gate. I almost would rather attack the Forge than the gate, but... Yeah, Zealots coming out, being annoying, but if the Hydras have speed, and they do, they can kite pretty effectively, and the Zealots don't want to go too far away from home. Citadel of Adun finishing up right now, which allows the Zealots to start getting the leg enhancements upgrade, which does help them immensely against Hydras. Speed is so important in that Hydra versus Zealot engagement. These guys aren't attacking. Hey guys, I need you to attack though. There we go. Everybody attack. And how far away are we from Storm exactly? The answer is pretty darn far if the Citadel of Adun just finished. We still need a Templar Archives, and we still need to research Storm. This is intense. This is a pretty intense opening right now. Forge is upgrading, working on that +2 attack. Oh, +1 attack. It's not happening. There is too much damage. Too much damage coming down on that thing. Also going after the gateway, which is just fantastic. The gateway goes down, and the +1 attack gets denied, is the word you want to use for that. It is a Forge, it is a Templar robotics facility, and there's a Templar Archives too. Yes, there it is. But I don't know. I mean, the Zealots are buffering and doing damage too. The backup cannons are doing their job right now. It's 21 to 33 workers. Like, Zero kind of needs to kill this natural base if we're going to keep doing this game. So I don't know. We're going to see Forge replacement Forge coming up. I guess it's cheap and has pretty decent amounts of HP. So the Hydras have to stop and kill that, I guess. But more Hydras show up, sniping down one of the cannons and sniping down the other cannon and then jumping out. So there's only one cannon here with other ones on the way, but they're not here yet. Keep sending the Hydralisks down here with their range upgrade and their speed upgrade. This is getting a little bit tight, but again, if Bisu can hold on, he has a massive economy advantage right now. 13 workers is a massive difference. Forward Forge goes down. There is a DT on DT and a shuttle. This feels like maybe we DT drop inside the main base of Zero, where he doesn't have any overlords at all. Nor does he have the speed upgrade for overlords. This could be incredibly damaging from Bisu. This follow-up. 4th base on the way from Zero, really? Oh, I don't know about this at all. Some of the probes are absolutely getting massacred here, though. That one cannon firing behind is really doing nice. So many probes down. You can afford to lose these probes because, again, you have that economic advantage, but at the same time, maybe you don't want to lose. Good heavens. This is so many Hydras all of a sudden. Okay, when the probes are coming down, you know you're in a lot of trouble as Bisu. That cannon dies, and that's your good game. Wow. Zero manages to come out on top here on game number 1 of our sneaky twofer between these two players. Zero gets it done. And yeah, I really think Bisu put off getting stormed too fast. Or too long, rather. Didn't get stormed fast enough. Yeah, he wanted to get a DT drop up here in the top right. That would have been really good. But at the same time, he didn't have anything back home, right? He had no army units anywhere. I mean, he had a Corsair flying around. He had no cannons. He has no ability to storm anything because he didn't get storm. He took Templar Archives for DT. Seems like a mistake from Bisu to do that, but at the same time, I don't think he had enough time to wait for storm either. Like, he got the Templar Archives down, made a DT with it, and then hopped inside the shuttle and went. So storm would still be researching, and this would still be dead. So a little bit too greedy, I would say, from Bisu. Try to get too many workers out. did not get the Templar Archives up fast enough. Like, as soon as the first Hydras arrive and start attacking, you need to get into Storm. I really feel like you do. And, like, far be it for me to tell Bisu how to play StarCraft, right? He's the greatest Protoss player of all time in StarCraft Brood War. So I'm not telling him, you know, what to do. I just feel like that would have been a better choice. So let's move into game number 2 of our sneaky twofer. I guess we'll check the score, but for these shorter games, it's usually nothing too pronounced, right? 25,000 points for Bisu to 24,000 points for Zero. More points for the loser here, which is something we see from time to time. Structures raised, way favoring the Zerg player as it would. And more gas mine, more minerals mine, and more total spent. But Hydras are the bane of Protoss existence until splash damage comes out. There's just this tiny window. It's not tiny, but it's a window, right? Where Zerg players with their Hydralisks, Hydraling just wrecks Protoss until they get Storm out, until they get Reavers out, until they get something splashy, splashy, splash. So let's move on to the next game of our sneaky twofer. We'll be back here, right now. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 of our sneaky twofer is here on Fighting Spirit again between the same two players. Different colors, different spawning locations. Top left, it is the orange. Nope, that's not orange. That is brown. It's a Protoss player. It is Bisu. And in the bottom left-hand side, we got a purple Zerg player. His name is Zero. Now look, Zero is capable of beating Bisu because he's an incredible Zerg player. And hang on a second, somebody changed their name fairly recently. Let me look for Zero Brood War. No, don't autocorrect to Zerg, Google. Zero did not mean Zerg. I meant Zero. Okay, so he's Queen. Oh! This is Queen. Ah, God, I thought that was effort. I get some of the Korean Zerg players confused. Anyway, this is Zero, known as Queen now, who's absolutely slaying, absolutely killing in the ASL. So Zero, again, extremely capable of doing this stuff. He's a great Zerg player. Let's see how he does here in game number 2 versus Bisu. I don't think these games were played sequentially, although they might have been. The replay numbers, as we overpool again, by the way, the replay number was 0014 for the previous replay, and this is 0015. So it's entirely possible these were played directly one after the other here. I don't know. I don't know how the numbering system for replays works, especially if we're talking 4 or 5 years ago, which is, I believe, when these games were played. So let's see what Bisu does different this time. If anything, I mean, this is a sneaky doofer. He could totally just end up dying to more Hydras and be a cautionary tale of how not to play PvZ, which is weird to think from Bisu, but hey, even the gods of StarCraft are not true gods. They have weaknesses. They are not omnipotent. They are not omniscient. And as a result, they drop games from time to time. Again, blocking this attempt at a hatch. Just, that's annoying, right? Oh, actually got a drone kill. That's even worse. All right, here's the engagement. There's the pylon when it looks like you're losing. And does the probe get out? Of course it does. Oh, of course it does, with 4 HP, 2 shields, and 2 health. If you want to call it that, sure. Oh, that's brutal. So yeah, basically the exact same darn thing we got. This is a canceled pylon. Ready, cancel, explodes, even though it was just a cancel. A little bit of a violent reaction. Again, the Overlord scouts the right way, and again, the probe scouted the right way. So, I mean, this is an absolute remake of game number 1. Although this time, it actually gets the natural down first and the third base down second. So, that is a difference. This is not the exact same game, just with different spawning locations and different colors. By the way, hit that like button if you're enjoying this. It helps the YouTube algorithm, you know, recommend me to other people. And I think it's doing a pretty good job of that, honestly. If you search Brood War in YouTube, it brings up a few of my casts. So that's pretty good stuff. Keep that rolling. Keep those like buttons coming in. Keep the comments coming. I hope you notice that I'm responding to your comments, and I've been doing this for a while. At the very least, give you a heart if it's a comment that I like. Which, hey, everybody loves those YouTube hearts from their content creators, right? Absolutely. So 2 cannons here, and a gateway, and the Lings going for the run by. Oh, boy. Yeah, how many are you going to get in? The answer is 3. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good getting 3 in. This is the most annoying thing in the whole world. This is something that Jaedong loves to do, is sneak a couple Lings into the Protoss base, harass the probes, because there's nothing that can stop this. The Zerg, or the Protoss player, is just now making a Zealot, right? Went for a fast expand, and as a result, it leaves you open to this kind of stuff. This is the weakness of going for a forged fast expand, is your main base is entirely open to ground attacks like this, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, even air attacks, right? But air attacks at 3 minutes from the Zerg is impossible. Anywho, Ling's trying to stay alive, and so far I'd say they're doing a decent job of it. None of them are in the, like, red at this point. Again, just trying to kill any of these probes you can. Try to avoid taking Zealot hits, though. They'll 2-shot you, man. 3-shot you, rather, but at the health levels that some of you are at, that is going to be definitely a 2-shot scenario. Meanwhile, back home, quick lair coming in as the Cybernetics core is just finishing up. The Zerglings hiding, trying to avoid getting hit by that Zealot. It's a hard game. The Lings, when they're slow, turns out not very fast. Zealots without speed are also not very fast, but when you're both slow, well, it's hard to control sometimes. More Lings out here in case the Zealot does decide to try to come down across the map, and it does. I think it juked these guys. I think it went around here, up that way, and then down into the... I think it may have done that. Now the Lings are not in a position to save anything. That was sneaky. That was some sneaky stuff. This Zealot does get seen, and the Lings were going to deal with it, but now they have to deal with this one because this guy inside your natural base is your worst nightmare. These 3 Lings are still alive from 0. Should I call him Queen? I think it's too late for that. I'm going to call him 0. Maybe in future casts I'll call him Queen, I think is what we'll roll with here. So that Zealot alive. Both players have units inside their mains, scouting everything, being annoying that they really can't do anything about. I mean, yes, the Lings can kill the Zealot. The question is, how many Zerglings will die with him? Because he can take 4 down if he's at full health, and he is. But he can get more if a full surround doesn't happen. However, oh, nicely done. You're not getting back there. You're not getting back. Oh, we got back there. And look, only 1 Ling at a time can attack him. That is so much more cost efficient. It's insane. 2 kills already. There's 3. And there's 4. And he's still alive. This is what I'm talking about. Zealots in that position. So good. My gosh. 5 kills. And dead. Pretty good, though. That is some good cost efficiency, man. Meanwhile, another Zealot coming over to this 3rd base. There are Lings are ready for that one. Corsair running around. And a Spire about to finish, which the Zealot scouted. And then we'll get some of them Scourge. So no Hydras. No Hydras here in game number 2. Zero's not interested in doing that today. +1 attack is going to finish as a result. For Bisu, the Corsair count getting a little bit intense right now. Working on +1 air weapons, too. That's why you need those Scourge. I love the Macro Hatch at the natural base here. Definitely Macro Hatch is going to be a big deal when it comes to Zergs making stuff. Another Macro Hatch at the 3rd base, which is so fantastic. Just helps you spend your money. The more larvae you have, the better the situation is. In StarCraft 2, you have queens that can inject larvae and have your hatchery produce more larvae than it otherwise would, which is really nice. You can still use a macro hatch in StarCraft 2, though, from time to time, especially if you're going something that is larva heavy like Zerglings are. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Cruising up the left side, we've got some Scourge. Got some Scourge. Lings trying to do this stuff. I don't know. I mean, Sunkens are so good against Zealots. Having a Sunken or 2 is just immensely useful. It's really the big difference between living and dying against Zealot attacks if you're Zerg. If you're dying to Zealot attacks, you didn't make any Sunkens. Generally how it works. Or you didn't make enough is generally how that works there. Also, you notice that they're putting the Sunkens behind other buildings. Sunkens on their own, taking direct hits from Zealots, actually don't do super well. But if you force the Zealots to attack other things before getting to the Sunkens, then suddenly you're in a better time, which is why the cannons are behind these buildings. Same story for Protoss versus Zerglings. See, you body up the Zealots and allow the Sunken to just go to work here. It's taking a couple shots, but really not that many. Oh, is there enough Scourge to handle these Corsairs? See how fast that Sunken dies. But another Sunken pops up, and just how many drones we're going to be able to kill here is the question. The drone stacking is nuts. Oh boy, more Zealots joining the party. They have speed. They can get here fast. Waiting for Scourge to pop out. Really? I guess we have some Lings down here too. Yeah, the Sunken is just, again, without the Sunken, this is a dead base. It just is. That's why you make that second Sunken colony. The third base has 2 of those as well. The Scourge count, I'm not sure, is high enough to deal with these Corsairs. I don't... The supply block is real right now. 21 available supply for 0 and 37 used. Again, Zero's control here with the Scourge. Pretty... Oh, jeez. You can't go in there, though. Once you have 4 of them, it's so hard. It is so hard to get on top of the Corsairs because they can burn you down before you connect with them, you know? Third base coming up for Bisu, 12 o'clock. Good angle. Gets 1 hit off there. Not enough to kill the Corsair, though. Bros bring it down. About 50% health. And again, same speed. Corsairs versus... Oh, but if you slow down a little bit or take a different angle, the Scourge will hit ya. Oh, see this angle right here? Oh, good. Good stuff there from Zero. All right, he didn't wipe out all the Corsairs, but he killed a couple of them, and keeping that count low is really important to do. He is making Mutalisks, which is something we've seen more and more often on the channel, is making Mutas even if your opponent opens up Corsairs. It's a terrifying concept for me. I don't like it very much. But again, I'm not as good at this game as Zero is. Fourth base coming up bottom right-hand corner for Zero. He's pretty well defended against ground attacks, of which there can't be a huge one because of all the Corsairs, right? You got 6 of them out here. 2 of them gone down already. High Templar cruising around. They have Storm. I imagine they already have Storm. I didn't see it come through on the production tab, but hey, it makes a lot of sense that they would have it. A DT, single D. Where? I don't. What? What are you? I guess middle of the map, killing Zergling. You can't go in here. There's multiple Overlords here. And a ton of Sunkens. DTs do not do well in situations where they are visible and things can hit them. They are sneaky units. Okay, there we go. Like that. Sneaking out here. Killing some Zerglings. Remember when DTs were introduced into the game back in 98? I was like, wait. Well, I guess they were in the campaign. Was the trick there. And then they said, hey, you can play them in the multiplayer. And I was like, really? Permanently cloaked units? Our minds just like exploded out of our heads. Ooh, the High Templar, though. They do manage to morph into an Archon, which is massive. The Muta sniping down cannons here. Stacked up and taking some shots on these Corsairs, though. Run. Where are you even running to? Where is safe? Is there even any anti-air down here? Not really. Again, not a huge fan of the Mutalisk. At least until the Scourge arrive, and then some of the Corsairs are the ones who have to turn heel and run. So everybody's bases are fairly safe at this point. There's Storm. Okay, I was going to say, once the Mutas showed up, I imagine the High Templar would have stormed if they could have, but they didn't have the Storm available, and now they're an Archon, so they will never storm ever at all. Dragoons coming on in with range. He's trying to deal with the Mutalisks with Dragoons, which is very smart. Mutas are not direct fighters when it comes to those Dragoons. They don't take a ton of damage, like no bonus damage, right? It's not bonus damage, it's just what you're effective against, right? There's none of that going on with Dragoons and Mutas. But just anything that can hit Mutas from a distance is going to be pretty good against Mutalisks because they have to close to attack because they don't have much range themselves. So we've got a Zealot Dragoon Archon army set up here outside the natural base of Bisu. Everything looking good for both players at this stage. I really don't see anybody dying in the next couple of minutes here. Unless these Mutas just happen... Oh! Decent hits there, but still 5 Corsairs remain and the Mutas have to get on out. Dragoons can't hit them because they don't have the Singularity Charge upgrade. It is 136 to 83 total supply in favor of the Protoss. Once you're on 4 bases, once you're on like 50-60 workers here from 0, this is when you need to start skyrocketing in supply. This is when you need to start having the advantage over the Protoss. And if you don't, around this stage, they can start snowballing on you instead. Lurker aspect is coming on in, but I mean, we already have the answer to Lurkers. It's going to be Dragoons with range, at least until Dark Swarm comes up. Which, how far are we from Dark Swarm is my question, and the answer is pretty darn far. I don't see a Queen's Nest anywhere. This third base seems like it's in a lot of trouble, but there are so many Sunkens here and no Reavers at all. Yeah, alright, man. He's going for it. The Zealots are absorbing a lot of shots here. The Dragoons trying to focus down anything they can from back here as well. The Mutas are... I don't know what the Mutas are doing. They're like, well, this base might be a total loss here. The Sunkens are not doing as well as I wanted them to. However, it's a lot of dead Dragoons and a lot of blood out there. The Mutas coming on in, trying to snipe down the cannons, defending the main base of Bisu. Holy smokes, they're going after some of these probes. So drones are going down for the Zerg player. Probes are dying. Look at the Scourge. Ready to rock here against these Corsairs. Amazing. The Mutas continue their attack into the main. They completely shut down all the mining there. The third base for Zero is equally dead, though. Both players taking serious hits. So what they're trying to do here, the problem is it's 154 to 63 total supply in favor of Bisu. He's got this base. He's got the top right base coming up here, too. The Mutas are annoying, but as far as a base race thing goes, they're not that great. And the death of the third base means death of the fourth base, definitely for Zero. So, yeah, we've seen Mutas work, but no, not today. That's the good game, Zero. Zero taps out. He was going for something there, going for the Mutalisks, but too many Corsairs, didn't kill enough of them. Third base dies despite the plethora of Sunkens. He did not get Dark Swarm up. He didn't get Lurkers out in time. He spent so many resources on these Mutalisks, and they're just not, I don't know. This is why I don't like seeing Mutalisks. To be entirely honest with you, when it comes down to it, right? I don't know. I don't like Mutalisks versus Protoss just because there are so many splash damage options available to Protoss. I don't know. I like it better against Terran, and so do most Zergs, right? Oh, incredible. Incroyable. So we split 1-1 in our sneaky twofer here. Which is sometimes how it goes. Might be a little bit unsatisfying for you all to go. Maybe you're expecting a third game. I'll do that in the future. For now, it's just a twofer. Hope you enjoyed it. Both games are fairly short, but also both games kind of highlight some interesting things about the matchup, right? Your Mutalisks are not going to do super well against a lot of Corsairs unless you get some really nice Scourge hits, which he went for. He invested a lot into Scourge and didn't get the hits he needed to off on those Corsairs at all. The Corsair count was too heavy. Even, where are they at the end of the game? They're right here. Still, even 4 of them at the end of the game. I mean, they've each got multiple kills, which is just demoralizing. And then the Mutas aren't able to get the, well, they might have got the Nexus, but also they'd just be super dead because the Corsairs are here and there's no Scourge, and demoralizing stuff at the end. Yeah, I mean, against a Protoss player, what you really want to do is try to get that Dark Swarm up pretty quickly, get to the Hive, get to the Lurkers, yes, get to the Hive, yes, get to the Defilers, and then you have a pretty, that's where everything changes for you. But if you can't get there, your Mutas need to do a ton of damage, and they didn't, they couldn't. So end of the day, 75,000 points for Bisu, 65,000 for Zero. Ended about producing the Protoss player, but losing a whole ton of units too. A lot of Zerg units got raised in that game. Resources, yeah, more minerals from Bisu, more total spent by about 5,000 from Bisu. He just really wasn't bothered all that much, other than that very final attack from Zero that did some work. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough in the end there. You can't lose your third and your fourth base in exchange for 1 base from Bisu. It just, the math does not add up. So, très bien, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon edition. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.